Natas, I was also thinking about, we've been talking about this EuroLeague season that's upcoming, but what are going to be the main questions we want to get answered? What are those storylines we got to follow, throughout the whole season? What's your most interesting intrigues in this season? And I'll start with my one, the first one. How are these newcomers in Hapoel, Tel Aviv, and Dubai basketball fare in the EuroLeague, and are they worth their spot? And what I say by are they worth their spot, by what I mean by that is, yes, the EuroLeague expanded, 20 teams now, Alba is out, we got some replacements with those two teams, Valencia, of course, Euro Cup champion advanced to the EuroLeague, seems fair, all good. Hapoel is going to be there. Dubai basketball, 2 years of history as a club, and now they're, after playing just in the ABA League, they got the spot. That's the context. But the thing is, one team is very ambitious, all that, cool. I like Hapoel's ambitions. I like the players they're signing, but they will be playing in an empty gym, Is that gonna make us excited to watch their games? We just did like a ranking of the most exciting teams. I'm not sure. So I want to see if that ambition is gonna outgrow essentially the lack of fan base in the teams, and if that's gonna make them more interesting. And are they gonna prove that they're a EuroLeague team after winning the Euro Cup? On the other side, Dubai basketball has even more questions to answer. This is a completely new team, let's say, in European basketball fans' eyes. We're for the first time actually seeing it on this biggest stage of the EuroLeague. Are they going to be exciting to watch with, the basketball culture in the UAE? I'm not sure. Is this collection of great EuroLeague names that already have played in the EuroLeague going to gel well? We'll see. I have a lot of questions, and the biggest one for me is the lack of basketball culture in Dubai. Is that going to really add much to our great European basketball experience?
But the question was are they going to prove that they're worth a spot in the EuroLeague, right?
Yeah, but for me to earn your spot in the EuroLeague, you not only need to add achievements and all that, but also add to the product with what is the best thing about the EuroLeague. Fans, excitement, all of these things I think are as important.
Because they're already adding something to the product, especially to the players and their salaries, right?
Expansion to the Middle East, I understand, yes.
And
but
another Israeli team, Hapoel Tel Aviv, is they are big spenders. They have the best paid player in Europe, starting from their debut season in the EuroLeague. So that's I would say a statement when you're entering the competition. You cannot ask for more, right? Of course, they're gonna need to prove if their expenses were worth, but at least to start their campaign, they already did a lot, I guess. Same as Dubai, bringing a lot of star-level players or really risers in the EuroLeague with Musa and Petrushev. So that's one. I mean, the second thing is, Dubai is bringing this uncertainty and potential what's going to happen with the Middle East. Are they going to get really interested into the EuroLeague? They made this TV deal. The EuroLeague will be broadcasted in the Middle East and I think North Africa. And I heard that it's quite significant TV deal to the EuroLeague. So they already bringing something as a product, right? And, those question marks, are they going to be good? Are there going to be any basketball vibes in that area? Is Vasily Micic going to fulfill his contract on the court? I think it brings some excitement already. So,
excitement is fine. I just want it to be an example of how you can buy your spot into the league and add not much. So I want them to prove they're worth their... it's not just the money.
For Dubai, Hapoel won the Euro Cup.
Yeah, that's the thing, yes.
Yeah.
But Hapoel won the Euro Cup, but also has spent a lot on the players. So,
true.
Which is okay, this is a
just
fair
like some
thing.
other previous champions like Virtus or
even
Virtus.
Yeah. Or even Monaco. I mean, they didn't win. They didn't win the Euro Cup.
Won quite unexpectedly with quite low budget team. And when you think about those newcomers...
they got in with a low-budget team.
When you think about those newcomers, those teams who actually entered the competition, because, for instance, Gran Canaria refused to entry to the EuroLeague, we had really promising projects, right? I mean, Monaco is one of the most consistent teams in making the
So that's
playoffs
what
and the
I
Final
wanna-
Fours.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Paris basketball was so fun to watch last
yeah.
season. Cinderella story for sure. So you could, I mean, Virtus was solid organization. So it feels like those who joined the competition, they're adding some value.
What's your intrigue of the season?
My intrigue is more general about the whole EuroLeague, because when you think about it, just a few years ago, they had to go through this COVID adversity. Then it feels like they're kind of surviving from this COVID era, and now they're entering the war era. Russian invasion in Ukraine, elimination of Russian teams, this uncertainty, losing some muscles as a product of the EuroLeague with those powerful teams that they had. Okay, it feels like you kind of find a line how to move forward. Then somehow, again, Gaza thing happens. Israeli teams playing abroad and bring us back as back to those COVID moments, watching them playing in an empty gym. Then some inner drama inside the organization. Somebody's going to replace Paulius Motiejunas. Is EuroLeague going to expand to Dubai and Middle East or not? Final Four in Abu Dhabi was confirmed only by the end of January. A lot of bullshit going on inside. And now entering this new season, transition year to this 24-team format, you could feel that maybe now finally we're going to have only basketball themed season. And here we see reports that UEFA is going to have this meeting to decide to ban or not Israeli teams, both national team and the clubs from their competitions. If that happens, EuroLeague will have to follow. We have 2 teams from Israel. So you can imagine that excluding those 2, how it would change the calendar. And once again, would have another season with some wounds to the EuroLeague. So I'm just wondering if we're going to have another storyline of another stupid situation, that doesn't let the EuroLeague to work in a normal flow to grow as well. We have NBA Europe. I didn't even mention NBA Europe.
Yeah, exactly.
That can ruin some things. So my storyline is what now will, move the EuroLeague waters this season.
Yeah, a lot of challenges on the horizon, potential ones. Next one I have is TJ Shorts and his adaptation with Panathinaikos, because the TJ Shorts of Paris basketball, the one that was scoring 18 points, averaging, I don't remember how many, like 8 or 9 assists. He was one of the top candidates for the MVP probably in the mid-season.
Yeah.
We were
and he finished third.
He finished overall third, but at some point when we were making our MVP ladder rankings, we were probably putting him even first based on his value for that team.
True.
Everything was built around TJ Shorts, starting from the offense where he got the transition opportunities, the whole team was running, and from there was a lot of creation. Then the freedom to have the ball and create the game for himself and for the others. He was incredible doing that the whole season. And then defensively, the Paris system managed to hide his weaknesses, which is his size, obviously. You can't exploit someone who's only 1 meter 75 centimeters tall and attack them on mismatches. But Paris, with their different systems that Augustas has gone over in his analysis about the Paris basketball, they managed to hide those weaknesses. Now, is Panathinaikos able to give that soil for TJ Shorts to blossom again? I am not exactly sure, because first of all, you're coming into a team that has very established core and very established leaders in Kendrick Nunn, Matthias Lejort, one of them, Jedi Osman, one of them. All of these guys that...
Kostas Lukas
still, okay, even though he's older now, even older now, he's still...
Jaren Grant, amazing player.
All these guys. So, number one, you're already in an established team that has its system, Ergen Ataman system. Maybe it's not the most complex system in the world. Maybe there's a couple of sets that do work well, and they just keep running those for one game. For the other, they might start running the others. But the point being that there's a different situation. It's not all built around you. Even from Bond days, TJ Shorts had a team that still was the same system going to the Paris, to the Euro Cup, to the EuroLeague. It just the same core of players was always around. Now you have a completely different team, and I'm not sure if he's going to be able to be as well. I'm pretty sure he won't be as valuable as he was for Paris. So both individually for him and for the team, how is that going to affect the signing, the whole thing? So that's my question. I need to see it.
You're right to raise those questions, and because I have same doubts. I would say I'm more doubtful than convinced it's going to work. And I had multiple conversations with some EuroLeague decision makers, some other, people of a basketball community in the EuroLeague. And something that he's going to thrive because of the freedom that Ataman players gets. Maybe you could feel that Kostas Loukas and his role will reduce. So TJ Shorts will step up and he will thrive playing with Nunn, with Duran Grant, and he will be fine. But some others, just as I said, they think that you have to build the game around TJ Shorts, and that's what's not going to happen in Pana because they have some bigger players. They're not going to sacrifice their style. So,
and it's a question of lineups as well. What do you play? Like, do you play TJ Shorts with Kendrick Nunn together, and then you sort of take away that Nunn-Grant duo that you had, where one maybe covers defensively for the other, because Jerry Grant, we know, is an incredible defensive stopper. But now if you have Nunn and TJ Shorts, who are, Shorts is good, like he's on you as a defender, but he's still...
But my counter-argument would be like, he played with Nadir Hifi in the same backcourt, and they thrived together as well. So... I mean, only time. It sounds really boring.
Time will
tell.
But that's why it's an intriguing question. Do you have another one, or?
Yeah, I have another one, and it's related to the EuroLeague champions. They had some big shakeup of their roster. You could say that they didn't lose many bodies in their team, but the significance of those guys, it's hard to find any other team that had such a significant loss of their star talent, starting from the EuroLeague finalist MVP, Nigel Hayes-Davis. He wasn't replaced by a player. It's going to be a team effort to replace him. First of all, Tariq Biberovic, he has to step up in his role, although he already really had a decent season last year. Bonzi Colson has to step up. He can play really better than he was last year in his first season with Fenerbahce. Mika Jantunen, Kane. I mean, let's say they will try to work for his replacement in this team effort. Marko Guduric was a glue guy for their team. He was this interesting player that one night he might be crucial to you. He might be performing as a star player in clutch moments. The other, he might be not asking for the ball that much, not being on the top of the box score, but still contributing, and the others step up. Now he's gone.
And Eric McCollum. Your good friend, who, although
my
a veteran,
who was amazing.
He was amazing for this team. I think he was one of the most important players.
He was a spark during this mid-season crisis. He was a big spark, and he had his moment in the semifinals, in the Final Four. So, and the newcomers who are coming, that's the biggest question mark. I'm not questioning their upside and talent, because what Taylor Horton-Tucker and Brandon Boston are bringing is something that they're EuroLeague superstar material. If everything goes well, a lot of people in the market think that we're talking about stars. One of the reactions from the NBA agent was that Boston was rumored to go to EuroLeague. First of all, Olympiacos was rumored to be the potential destination. The response was like, it for sure has to be fake. The guy is too good for the EuroLeague. He's coming to the EuroLeague actually, and he's joining Fener. But the thing is that, just like Armando Bacot, we're talking about 3 newcomers from the NBA. I know Sharas quite well. I remember his track record quite well. And I really remember that feeling, that feedback, that opinion coming from his camp as well, that he prefers EuroLeague veterans over newcomers from the NBA. Because
you got to teach them everything
from scratch. It takes too much to change their habits, to adapt them to the EuroLeague game, to change their approach on their role they're getting. Because I can believe that Taylor Horton-Tucker or Boston are coming here to be stars, not part piece of a championship puzzle.
And both of these guys, they played for teams that didn't necessarily play in the playoffs. So, like, when you play an NBA regular season game and you have those, like you said, habits and all that rooted in your mind, and now you come in and there's so much information thrown at you, all the mistakes you do are pointed out, highlighted. You're supposed to do this way, not that way. I think also this is a lot of management to do, but I do think Sharas has, let's say, loosened up in his approach.
Changed.
Yeah, in the last, let's say, year for sure. Even
we had question marks about Wade Baldwin.
Yeah, and now
he's the EuroLeague champion.
Yeah, and it seems like it's working, that duo between him and Sharas. So
at the same time, it's probably it's not related, but I'm just creating a narrative here right now. There are some people who are thinking that Sharas might be thinking about the NBA in a few years. What if it's his transition year, transition point? Okay, let's give it a shot. I won the EuroLeague. I proved everything.
Yeah.
We're suffering from some big losses. And it's not like Fenerbahce has a budget of Panathinaikos or Olympiacos. They cannot compete with the top sharks because they were after a few players who actually end up going to some different teams. So they're like, okay, we cannot afford the highest priced talent. So let's give a try with those NBA guys with a lot of potential. What if also Sharas took this as an approach of let me try. Let's give me a try.
I'd be very
I can
excited
adjust.
if that's the case. Yeah?
What can I do about it? So, and at the same time, when you look at the roster, okay, they lost Nigel Hayes-Davis, but they have the current personnel that they have to step up and to fill his shoes. Regarding the others, I mean, okay, Marko Guduric is a big loss, but he was not Wade Baldwin, Nigel Hayes-Davis. He was not Kendrick Nunn of Panathinaikos, right? Who else left? Sertac Shanli?
Yeah,
they won the EuroLeague last year with Kember, Sertac Shanli, and Nicola Melli. I mean, they still have a lot of those champions. So Wade Baldwin, if he's going to be healthy, and if he's going to be better than his first season, which is likely, I mean, we might not feel those, players missing that much. So we'll see. But still, a lot of too much of the NBA in Sharas' team in one season.
Okay. My last one is, since I touched on one Greek team, I have to talk about the other now, Olympiacos. And I think Keenan Evans is my biggest question mark. Is he finally the answer to their biggest problems of the past few years that they had in this team? And to me personally, when I just remember how Olympiacos looked, they were always consistent in the regular season, dominant sometimes. The off-ball movement, we talked about it for the last 3-4 years. Barsoka system, how the ball moves, how you don't need dribbling, all of that. But once that gets, let's say, stopped, figured out a little bit, when teams adapt, when they switch, when they stop your off-ball movement being so successful, and you still have this possession somehow to be solved, and there's a ball, and someone has to take it. Last season, we saw that Evan Fournier became the guy to take that ball and get points made from nowhere. But it wasn't enough in the Final Four. They didn't have a great performance there. Obviously, remember they crashed out in the semifinals. So, point being, is Keenan Evans, the guy we saw take that ball and at the end of the shot clock in possessions when he played for Žalgiris, is he gonna be the guy to decide games, to decide possessions, to be that individual scoring talent and also create for others that they were waiting for this long? Because I think he might be. I think he has all the tools.
He's the guy.
He can shoot over your hands, contested shots. He can drive. He can finish from, like I said, just driving. He can pull up for mid-ranges. He has like a versatile tool set of how to attack. And I think that's what they were missing, because once you have a player who's dangerous from all places of the court, then you start drawing defenses. Then Keenan Evans can kick the ball out. They have the shooters. They just couldn't create shots for the last 3 seasons. And for me, the question is Keenan Evans the guy? And I think it will depend on how well he recovers from that, first of all, from that big injury from a year ago because he hasn't played professional basketball for a year. Second of all, he just recently had an injury, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's probably missing the opener of the season.
So can he stay healthy throughout the whole season? He has a track record of injuries now piling up one on top of the other. Those are my concerns about this, but also some positives, looking at this Olympiacos. So for me,
I think he's the guy to solve their issues. He has a will to come back. He proved that with Žalgiris. I think that as soon as he saw the pattern, the path, how to come back, he gonna repeat himself. He has great work ethics. The feedback I was getting from Olympiacos people in terms of how he was looking in the practices and 5-on-5 practices and workouts, he was great. They just didn't want to take any risks to put him into the court in the final moments of the season. This thing, what happened before the season, is unfortunate, but I hope it's not really related to his old injuries, and he will be fine, and he will help Evan Fournier in terms of shot creation. Of course, the question is if he remains healthy. We cannot answer that question, but if he's on the court, he is the guy to solve their issues.
So guys, those are 5 intriguing questions of the season for me and Donatas. Make sure to drop yours, what you think is the most intriguing thing to find out this season, in the comments below. Also, our fantasy is one thing to play.
That's also something was really intriguing because we have a lot of new features on our BasketNews EuroLeague fantasy. For instance, new scoring system, some wild cards to shake up the ranks when things are not going well, or in case you want to boost your chances.
We have a
prize money, 3,000 euro for the first place winner if you join BN Plus community. It's another big reason to join BN Plus community on basketnews.com/plus. Pretty much it.
Yeah, there's draft
quite
mode,
intriguing already, right?
A lot of intrigues. So don't forget to check out fantasy.basketnews.com and subscribe to this channel. Make sure your notifications are on. EuroLeague season, we're ready.